to take a minute and speak to you about functional testing. So yeah, a bit of a head scratcher, right? What does that even mean? Well, it means testing that looks at how the body's functioning. I'm thinking of something like a complete blood count. What's that? A CBC. What does that mean? That's when we look at white blood cells, red blood cells, hemoglobin, hematocrit, components that make up hematology, or a section in our body that looks at blood cells. How are the white blood cells functioning? Are they showing an infection? Is that infection a bacterial infection, a viral infection? So all these clues, when we take lab tests as a physician, we look then to have to see why and how we interpret that particular lab. As physicians, we choose certain labs for certain reasons, and it's based upon the following: taking a good history, which means listening to the patient because they'll tell you what's wrong with them. It means doing a physical examination. Then we come up with what we think as a differential diagnosis. And in doing so, then we order tests that will either rule in or rule out that which we're thinking. Every now and again, there could be something like, oh, look at that, didn't think of that, or that ends up being a red herring. Why? Well, because the way the tests are set up, there's a standardization with how they were established in terms of normal and abnormal. Well, could doctors be misinterpreting them? Maybe, but not usually. And then what are these functional tests? Well, those are things like, how is your gut functioning? Are there heavy metals present? What's a hair analysis look like? Liver detoxification, looking at pathways. Maybe looking at genomics or genetic testing that shows maybe what single nucleotide polymorphisms or SNPs that you might have that could possibly be influenced by the environment you're living in. So yeah, a bit of a head scratcher, right? So how do we put those things together? Do we rely and treat the test results only? Never. We treat the patient who has symptoms and may have these findings on a test. Do the tests give us a diagnosis? Sometimes, but usually not from the functional tests. It's more like if your white blood cell count is low, we call that leukopenia. Is that a diagnosis? Well, yes, but then we have to figure out why. So if you say, well, I've been diagnosed with leaky gut, a functional diagnosis. Great, but what does that mean? The key is finding and working with a physician that you trust. That would be someone like myself or someone in your community that you connect with and you know that you can communicate well with and you know that it is on your side. So the key is know before you go. Functional tests are very important. Regular tests are very important. But the most important thing is making a good connection with that physician or provider, with them listening to you and helping you understand what everything means together. With that, you are armed, you are in a good team, and you're in a good position to get well, to feel well, and to be well. And that's my approach to care. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to sharing more with you going forward. Have a great day.